we're always being asked, how do you stand out? And we came up with some advanced techniques that you can incorporate to your treatments. So we're going to go through them and tell you a bit more about them.
All right, couple categories that we have for you.
Hmm.
So the first one, advanced facial massage. Then we're going to talk about devices, and advanced treatments is the third one. We're going to keep this simple. So it's more heading because of course, you know how we are, you guys. We could talk forever.
And each one is
Um,
really like an entire, like within the advanced facial massage techniques, which is my favorite one to receive, is there are several different categories. So if something piques your interest, that could be something that you can explore more. But these are things that you would have to go get additional training for, right? But it's just to kind of show you what's out there and what you can add to just jazz up your treatments a little bit.
so the first one is lymphatic drainage. So that could be manual, that could be through cupping as well. So just thinking about how does it help? It depuffs, it detoxifies, reduces inflammation. So it's going to give that post-treatment glow as well. Once you learn lymphatic drainage, you could have two ways of doing it. And gua sha. This is something that could be done quite simply too. And you could, if you're into the stones, you can resonate into the different options that the stones reflect. Again, you would want to take a little bit of a course or something on this so you understand that side of it. But basically, now you're working with circulation and fascia tissue. So you're releasing, when you start to release that tightness in the face, you're actually giving that the pliability to move without pulling and tightening, which creates the wrinkles, the dropping of the skin, that elasticity side of it. So it does help to lift and sculpt the skin. So it boosts also blood flow. So that's detoxifying. It releases tension in the face as well. But it's really overall that brightening complexion. And you can play with that by having cool ones, warm ones, like just
Mhm.
putting it in your hot towel, Gabby, or in your water for that.
I think with those ones too, just from like a receiving perspective, that it's such a nice addition to a facial. It just feels so
It's
good that it's
so
just
good.
that will
Yeah.
be leave that memory in your client's mind. I
Mhm.
was lucky enough to be a model for you for one of those, and I was like, "Ooh, that I wanted that again." So that's always a nice thing you want to leave your clients with.
And that's the whole thing, right? It's that the experience they're receiving in the treatment room, even before and after. But having that, if they're feeling fatigued or anything, it's amazing what gua sha does. Don't
Mhm.
underestimate it. If you don't know what
Mhm.
it is, go have one done, and
Yep.
then you'll probably see, right? Like you said.
Yeah.
The other one is the intraoral, which is out there is the buccal massage. We're getting deeper into the actual muscles of the face. So understanding everything about it, of course, but you also need to know about, jaw tension, not TMJ, because we're not medical therapists in that aspect. So we wouldn't get
Mhm.
that deep, but to respect the fact of more is not better. You'll know it in the training if you're getting training on this, but basically what it's doing is really giving relief now at a different level, which helps with that tension in the face, the stress, and also with the face, like the facial asymmetry, like how things are maybe one side drooping more than the other, that type of thing. So it's amazing how it actually will help benefits to
That
help.
also feels good, but it's like prep yourself for being in the mouth a little bit, so you're
Yes,
gloved
you
and
need to, yep, you're going to have to get into your
yeah.
client's mouth. Gloves are on. It'll be taught through all that
Mhm.
and how to work with the skin as well. And it's a very visual. All of this is like you need to really be focusing and looking at the skin. How is it reacting
Mhm.
to the type of modality you're using on your client? It's not just doing it, right? It's like it's imagine like doing a peel and you just put it on and you leave it and you're not paying attention. It's no
Mhm.
different when you're working into these modalities as well. You want to see what's going on.
And I really like
Uh,
your suggestion of trying it. Like, if any of this piques your
ah,
interest, go get a facial with that's offering it, because then you're gonna see, "Oh, I really like this," or, "I have a preference of
mhm,
one over the other," and then you can make your decision that way.
exactly. Yeah. Lift and sculpt massage. This is basically going to be working on the muscles again on the face, that deep tissue releasing in a sense, where you're really going to focus on the client itself. Like each person's going to be different. So I never point out the things to clients. I try to ask them, well, what do you see? Do you see that your eyes are feeling a little droopy? You know, if they point to areas, what are you noticing around your eyes? So I'll direct it that way. I might not say, oh God, Darine, have you looked at your eyes lately? Do you want me to lift those for you?
You're looking horrible.
So it's like, okay, well, what about your forehead? What about your eyes? What about, you know, the cheeks, the neck, the jaw? Like, see what they say about it, and you can say, well, I categorize it into areas of the face. So let's go through each one, and then in the end, you can tell me your top 3 areas.
Mhm.
That's how you can kind of bring that together. But it really does work. It's amazing. So, in all of these things, I keep telling professionals out there, take before and after pictures. Even if they say no, don't share it on social media, right? That's okay. This is for your client folder. Like, this is just for you. I want you to see before and after.
And for
Um,
like, show them after the treatment,
yeah,
because I've had that happen
before
where
and
it was,
after.
yeah, shown right after my treatment. I'm like, "Ooh, I look good." And they
Yeah,
want
and
they want
sometimes you're like, oh my God, I just didn't even notice how much of a lift I got from this. And then, well, how do you maintain this? And now you're giving them education on what they need to do at home. When should they see you again? That type of thing, right?
And before we
Yeah,
move
and I
on,
think
I'll do a little shameless plug for you that you do teach an advanced facial massage class. So
I do.
message us,
Yes,
send you the info. She'll send you the info.
it's a lot of fun. I do love it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And I love when we get clients in or models or even students, they're quite shocked when they like, well, it's the buzz thing. I want to know more about it. And then they do it and they just like, oh my God, like what?
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a facelift, like don't get me wrong, right? And again, there's genetics, there's so much involved with this, but people are still pleasantly surprised by it, which is great. But I think the whole thing is it takes practice to understand and learn
Hmm.
how the client can really benefit from it. So next one's devices. Will quickly. These are not probably new to anybody. We just forget about it sometimes. How simple, high frequency is to add. I see it a lot more on Instagram than I did last year.
Yeah.
Being shown, right? I'm sure you've seen it. LED light therapy, radio frequency is another one. Again, depending on your budget, right? You want to look at that, and ultrasonic skin scrubber. I mean, those are things you could be doing with your clients and keeping it very simple. Maybe it's only one thing. I actually asked one person when they're asking me it was a business consultation, basically running their business. And I said, what does it cost you to do LED therapy on them? Like why are you adding $25 to it? Why don't you just put it in their cost and add it to your treatment all the time? It's just so beneficial. It should just be part of the treatment.
And
That person thought about it.
that's how you
Sorry?
set yourself apart, right? Like your facials include LED. So you're
Yes.
not, don't like sell it as
Not
an add-on.
selling.
Just have it as, that's just a way that you can
Hmm.
position yourself differently from others in your area.
Exactly. Yeah. Or maybe it's high frequency. Maybe you're going to be playing with that. Like there's
Exactly.
so much you can do with that one. And like the ultrasonic sin scrubber, I love that little tool. It's such a small thing, but you can also you might be doing it in the treatment and your clients can go home and do it as
Hmm.
well.
Yeah.
And people are like, but then they're not going to come back for me to do it. Yes, they are. That's like saying you do a facial on someone, and well, they're never going to come to you again because they'll just do facials at home.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
kind of the same concept, right? But helping them understand and reminding them. Usually it's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that tool. I haven't been doing that. So it helps to remind them of it. And it's not a big purchase, like investment is so low with these little things. You're
Mhm.
not having to spend $5,000 or however much some of these things are. So
Yeah.
and then maybe that's a budget. Maybe that's how you start with these smaller things. And then maybe you do want the bigger whistle looking, wow kind of technology in your room because it does sell. I get that. I hear that from a lot of people when you walk in and you see it's like, wow, look at all of this. This is amazing. But I mean, you got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
I mean, now they even have high frequency. I mean, they've had for a while. It's the little handheld ones that you can use. You don't have to buy the big machines anymore.
Exactly. Yeah.
So again, think of it that way.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, and try things. If you don't have it, go try it again. I sound like I'm a broken record, but try it and see what you like, because then that's what you're going
Hmm.
to be able to enjoy giving to your clients as well. Okay, our
And
third
then,
category is advanced treatments. I know this is an advanced technique, but you can add an advanced treatment to your service menu.
right. Again, is it a separate treatment or is it an add-on to your treatment? Meaning now you
Incorporate
become
it.
specialized in this. This is what I do all the time
Yeah.
instead of adding it to their bill.
No.
I, that's just my point of view of what I hear people saying. They want to go in and they just want to have it done and just one price. They know what they're walking in for. A good example of that would be your classic nail treatment. You're going in to get it done, and they say it's $50, and you leave at an $85 bill at the end because of all the add-ons you did.
Yeah.
And most like, God, that added up fast. They want the end result, but they don't like to hear that side of it. So that's the only reason I say it.
For facials, your client is there, they're relaxing, they're in a different space. So to constantly be like, oh, do you want this too? Or whether you do it before or during, like I think just instead of selling, like prescribing, this is the treatment that I think, based on my professional opinion, that you need. And this is what we're going to do. This is my facial price. That's it. And then that is going to be more professional and easier to present to your client, because I know myself, I hate selling. And I know a lot of estheticians are the same, but you're not selling, right? You're just giving them the treatment based on your experience that includes some of these modalities that you have learned.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, so for the advanced treatments, what do we got?
For needling or nano needling, derma roller, they kind of all fall in that category.
Yeah.
Planing, chemical peels, the hydrofacial, microdermabrasion, those types of things. And again, going back, I remember, well, light therapy was part of the treatment all the time, and microdermabrasion was like easy to add in a sweep of that to everyone. It's like,
Yeah.
I think for today's exfoliation, I'm not going to do the enzyme peel. I'm going to do the microdermabrasion on you instead because of blah, 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 right? I never charged more. It was just all part of the treatment
Mm.
itself. And they loved that they came in knowing that their facial was going to cost this much, and that was it. Now, if there was next time, it'd be like, you know what? I think you'd be a really good candidate for a theory of the microdermabrasion. That's different,
Yeah.
right? That's completely different. You're targeting or microneedling or chemical peels,
Mm.
whatever that may be. But having something in there to start that talk is really beneficial.
Yeah, so you're
And you
saying
just
like
like
when you
it.
have these treatments and you offer them as separate treatments, you can also use them to incorporate into your custom facials, whether it's one sweep
Exactly.
of microdermabrasion or a
Hmm.
microneedling or whatever, just a gentle kind of one pass. These can be incorporated into your facial. And then you can be like, oh yeah, well, you liked it. And next time, not during the next time, I prescribe a series of these or whatever.
Yeah, or it could be in that at the end of the treatment. So
Yeah.
this is what I've discovered, and I really think you would benefit from, because this, and this is part of your goals, and that type of
Yeah.
thing. I'm telling all my secrets of how I used to run my business, but it was legitimately there for my client. I wanted to be able to have the freedom to use whatever I wanted on them, and not a fight in the end about pricing or
Yeah.
upselling. It made it so much easier for staff, right? I just built it to be a consistent. This is what you do in this facial all the time. This is what you're going to do in this facial all the time. And at the end, maybe there isn't a series involved. Maybe it's no, we're going to do the same thing next time I
Yeah.
see you, right?
Exactly.
So it just depends on the goal of the client. That's really what it comes down to.
I love that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so that was our three. Short and brief, but we have the advanced facial massage techniques and devices. You might have some of them. Just start incorporating them into your treatments.
Pull
And
them
then,
out of the drawer.
yeah, they don't work if you're not, they're just sitting there. I have some as well that don't work by themselves, unfortunately. And then your advanced treatments like chemical peel, dermaplaning, microneedling, etc.
Etc. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah. And as always, we want to hear from you and just see what is it that you're using, or what's one thing you started to incorporate and you've noticed a big change or retention from your clients or positive feedback. We'd love to hear that and let us know. Thanks for listening to Beauty Babble.